In May 2023, an internal memo leaked from Google. It bluntly stated that the company had no durable moat against open-source AI developers. By January 2025, that vulnerability was proven. A Chinese lab named DeepSeek released an AI model called R1 that matched the reasoning capabilities of the top-tier systems in the US. The market reaction was immediate. Hardware giants saw massive drops in their stock value in a matter of days. Investors realized that building top-level AI might not require endless server farms. This research brief details the shock. It shows DeepSeek's R1 training run cost just $294,000, using a relatively small cluster of 512 chips. That is a fraction of the hundreds of millions of dollars previously assumed necessary. Producing high-level machine intelligence is now surprisingly cheap. The scarcity is gone. The real value has shifted to a completely different layer of the economy. Tech companies immediately began buying up exclusive access to human data. Platforms like Reddit signed licensing deals worth hundreds of millions of dollars to feed their user forums directly into AI models. Back in 2018, computer scientist Jaron Lanier proposed a concept called data dignity. He argued that the ordinary people producing the content that trains these networks should be compensated for their labor. But labeling this material as raw data obscures what the platforms are actually buying. They are harvesting worked examples, the specific questions, corrections, and expert judgments made by human beings. That is what actually teaches the machine. You can understand this new AI ecosystem by looking at it like a physical logistics network. The system starts with local corpora. These are secure databases like hospital records or private legal files. Think of them as the warehouses holding the valuable raw material. AI agents act as the couriers. When a user asks a complex question, the agent is dispatched to retrieve specific knowledge from those warehouses. As the agent works, it leaves behind a trace. This is the exact step-by-step route it took to solve the problem, including the mistakes it made and the corrections a human provided along the way. This logistics network efficiently builds better models. But because the entire process happens invisibly, the doctors, coders, and writers who originally stocked those warehouses are entirely cut out of the profits. Tech platforms capture these step-by-step traces and use them to create permanent model upgrades. They extract the human expertise without crediting or paying the original source. Taking valuable cargo without a manifest or a clear record of ownership operates exactly like a digital smuggling operation. Major vendors argue they are tracking this information. They offer compliance dashboards and internal audit logs to show how data is being used. Those internal logs are essentially company town ledgers. Because the tech giants own and control the servers where the logs live, an outside creator cannot independently verify them. A functioning market requires transparency. If the only record of a transaction is controlled by the entity taking the goods, it isn't a fair exchange. Regulators and engineers are forcing visibility into this system. Mandates like the EU AI Act are driving a verifiable open record layer. The proposed solution is a digital receipt. You can think of it as a cryptographic passport for useful AI work. This briefing document lists the emerging standards for these receipts. The bullet points here for PipeLab and Yliptic show how these protocols lock in who authorized a run, what exact evidence the agent used, and what rights remain attached to the final outcome. The core feature of this receipt is portability. If proof of work cannot travel outside the vendor's walled garden, the worker has no leverage. We are facing two clear paths. On one, the tech platforms capture the entire improvement loop. The public trains the models for free and then pays a subscription to rent their own expertise back. On the other path, workers, creators, and institutions carry cryptographic proof of their contributions. That proof gives them the bargaining power to sell their intelligence on an open, transparent market. The infrastructure for this new economy is already built. The AI agents are the couriers, but portable receipts are the passports required to make the intelligence supply chain fair.